Hello, everyone. I'll wait for a minute or so that some people can join in. And today, what I'll be talking about is all about your thoughts, right? All about your feelings, all about your actions, beliefs, and how you can optimize them. So I have chosen this word optimize, which literally means that how you can make best out of your thoughts or negative thoughts or best out of a situation. Because as we all know, you cannot control your thoughts. You would be getting thoughts every day. And in neuroscience, it has shown that every day we roughly get around 70,000 thoughts from our subconscious mind to our conscious mind. And it has also shown in neuroscience that 95% of those thoughts are negative in nature. So, we'll be talking about how you can take care of them in a way where you're able to optimize your thoughts, where you're able to make best outcome of a situation which is challenging for you, and how all we can help ourselves by understanding what is the depth about it, why we are getting it, why this mental health is an issue for our personal lives, for our professional lives. Then I'll be also discussing another method which is I call as TBL method, and then what all you can do. And in the end, you can ask me any questions about how to optimize your thoughts, belief, feelings, actions, and behaviors. All right, so let's get started with that. So what are we talking here? We are talking about that we're trying to find out, is our thoughts which we get every day, randomly, sometimes suddenly, are the ones which are holding us back or not? So we all know that these are the mental barriers when we're trying to move forward in our life. So many of my clients, they come in and they keep saying that I keep getting this thought, in loop many times in a day or in a week. So, we're going to be talking all about that, how you can prevent this, and how you can also optimize it in certain way so that it is not hindering your progress in life. So, we'll start with the mindset here. So, as you all know, what is a mindset? Mindset is nothing, it's a set of attitudes. The second thing you would ask me, what are attitudes? Attitudes is nothing, is a settled way of thinking about someone or something. I'm sure, like, you have already formed an opinion about certain things in your life or certain people in your life, right? For instance, some people like certain kind of car, some people like certain kind of color in a car. So these are all our attitudes, right? So we have already formed, when we have collected the data, and we form an opinion. So, and how we act it out shows our attitude. It could be towards a person, it could be towards anything. So these are known as attitudes, like something you like, something in someone person, some behavior you like, some behavior you don't like. So you've already formed an attitude about that situation or about that person. So I hope that was clear to you all in simple terms. Now, what are we talking here? We are talking about here is this mental health barriers which really block us to move in our lives, in our personal lives, in our professional lives, and what are the mindsets which are really blocking us and how we can overcome. And I'll show you with some statistics and which are the ones which we should be focusing on. Okay. So, first is a positive mindset. Now, when you have a positive mindset, you would see your whole lifestyle changes, and 87% statistically people have seen when they start developing a positive mindset, the whole lifestyle in totality changes. Number two is the growth mindset. Growth mindset is nothing when you are, as a student or as a professional or as a personal, when you are accepting your hurdles in more optimistic way. And 40% people who have this growth mindset have shown that they are able to overcome any challenges, whether it's being a student, being a professional, being a homemaker, being a personal, any of those challenges they can overcome just having that growth mindset. The next one I talk about is uh, positive thinking. Now you've seen some companies, they try to put something, try to tell you that develop a positive thinking or have a positive thinking. There's a reason behind that, because 31% of their employees, when you have done some workshops with them on positive thinking, they show results in that. So, and you might have seen in the medical field that there is known as a placebo term, which means literally half of the people are given medicine, the actual medicine, and the half of the people are given sugar pill, which is not a medicine. Okay. Now you have seen that still they show some improvement in their symptoms, which is so surprising. So where is it coming from? So 30 to 40% of the people, they show that symptoms which from the placebo effect is improving. So where does this placebo effect comes in? What are we all talking about? Mind. So the bottom line is we're talking about our mind. Okay. So, and you know that this mental health barriers which we are talking about today, people have a lot of misconceptions around this area. So, what are those? The stigma, people don't seek help, lack of awareness, because what happens, some of my clients, the current clients and the previous clients, have go on YouTube and they try randomly some techniques, and what happens? No result. Rather, they get more deeper into, if they're probably having anxiety issues or any kind of issues, they become worse, they deteriorate. So you need to understand that you have to have a self awareness, why you're having these things, why these things are not working out for you, why your thoughts are so negative in nature, and all that. So you need to seek a professional help. I would strongly advise, go to a coach, speak to them about what is going on. A trained person would be able to give you an idea, and just see what challenges you have and help you to overcome them. Okay. So next one is again lack of support. Sometimes these people don't have a support of their family members. So when somebody is having a behavioral issues, they would say, oh, something is wrong with you, rather than fixing the problem. Where is it coming from? Okay, so that is another issue. Then after that, affordability. A lot of people come that they cannot afford, but it's all about investing in yourself. Then discriminations. Then last one is religious misconceptions. People do believe that seeking this kind of help, where they're showing a behaviors which are not in their favor, is some kind of a religious block. But I think we should all try to overcome these issues, and there's so many help available these days, and you can try any one of them. Okay. So let's now talk about thoughts. So what are thoughts? So thoughts are some kind of idea, or when a thought comes, it comes suddenly in your mind. So have you seen, like, you're just sitting and all of a sudden you remember something from your memory that happened long time ago, for instance 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and then you start to act it out. Either if the memory was good, you feel good about it, but if the memory was not so good, you feel sad about it, right? So these are the thoughts which will keep coming to you on the daily basis, right? So these are the sudden ideas, sudden just knowing of something, correct? So these are what we call as thoughts. Feelings, nothing but it's an emotional state you feel after having a thought, right? So a thought came up from your subconscious mind, and to your conscious mind. And if it, like I said, if it's a happy thought, you will feel all happy about it. But it was not a happy thought, you will feel sad about it. Now, the behavior. So once the thought comes, you're feeling about it, and the behavior. So it changes your behavior. So have you seen people, rather, I would say some of my clients, if a negative thought comes to their mind, all of a sudden their behavior changes. So, like they're sitting, they're having dinner, they're enjoying everything, but something comes to their mind, and all of a sudden they are tensed up. The whole body language changes. So, you might have also seen some of the people, right? That happens, like whether all of a sudden with no rhyme and reason things are going fine, but their whole the the tension around their body is pretty much visible. That's how we see it. Now, action. What happens if somebody's tensed up and it's a negative thought? It's a negative thought, negative feeling, and then negative behavior. What will they do? They will do something more negatively. So that could be an extreme situation, right? Same goes for the good part as well, though. So these are all thoughts, feelings, behaviors, and the action you take after that. So, what is the difference between a thought and a belief? So, beliefs are something which regularly, when you keep getting thoughts, okay, please pay attention to this one. What happens? They start to become a belief. So you strongly develop a feeling around it, being it's about its existence. So it becomes a feeling, and then you start to believe in it so strongly. Okay, so belief is something which has been going on for a while. Okay, and you have started to strongly believe in it, right? So it's over the time it's been happening, but it has been overlooked, but you start to believe in it. Whereas thoughts is a certain information we get randomly, and we develop feelings around it. But belief is something which has been programmed in your mind for very, very long time. For instance, certain beliefs like I'm not good enough, certain beliefs like my self-worth is low, I have a low self-esteem. Belief system could be like I cannot make money. Belief system could be a world is very bad. These are the belief systems which have been programmed in you, and they would stick to you for very long time unless you work with them and turn around them. Okay, so the TBL method which I was telling you, so it's all about beliefs now here, right? We're talking about belief systems. So again, the belief, it's a, I would put it as a framework where I say you get a belief, the thought comes out, right? The feelings come out, and then you start behaving that way. So that's the behavior, right? Unless you change your belief system, which has been strongly programmed in you, you would not be able to get the right outcomes. So either you optimize it, and the only way to optimize your belief system, which you have been carrying, there could be many of them. So believe me when I say that belief system cannot be just one or two. Belief system could be lot in number, and you work with a coach or work with me. When you come to me, we work one by one, because it is so strongly engraved in you that you would not even able to find a reason that this is the one. It's first the acknowledgement of that belief system. Second would be understanding where is it coming from, why is it coming, and why it's still existing so strongly in you. Because you will show some behaviors, but you would not know that your those behaviors are related to that belief system. So it's a very deeply connected, I would say, framework when you're working around your belief system. So there are few ways you can do it. Either you can turn it around, changing the perspective, which is also not that easy. So that's one of the things you can try, but work with the professional. They'll be able to help you out more, uh, better ways, so that you don't get confused when you're working with your belief systems. Okay, so that's what I wanted to mention. So the TBL method is all about that you're working with somebody, and they're able to see the in total framework, where the belief is coming, why is it affecting you so much, how they can help you to change it, whether it can be done through a perspective. There's so many methods they could use, right? So that's how a TBL method works. So optimize your thought before it pulls you off the track. Now you can optimize, again, you can make the best use of a situation before it pulls you off the track. So it's- I think one of the easiest way and one of the most common way which we give it to all people is, when you can optimize your thought, is start questioning it. So whenever you get a negative thought, whenever you get something which is not in your favor, start asking questions. And like a simple question I would give you all, which is it 100% true? And if the answer is no, so probably you have break the cycle of it. Now you have to keep adding what is going on. Let's say you're thinking about somebody and you say, that person is really bad. He's done or she's done something bad to me. Okay. So in your mind, your scenario is running, right? Like a movie. Probably you went to a party, or somebody did something to you, or they didn't behave well with you. So the whole scenario is running into your mind right now. So what you have to do now, whatever is happening, your feelings about it. So it was a bad experience, so now you're having a bad feelings about it, correct? But the best way, and you cannot get that thing out of your mind, and that's coming in loop about that experience, that situation in your mind. The first thing you should start doing is start asking yourself, is it 100% true? Was that the only person who misbehaved with you, or there were many other? Or their intentions were not like that, or they had something else, or it was a fun, whatever. So what you're doing, you're trying to question the negative thought which is playing in your mind as a loop, and that really helps. So the first question you should start doing is it 100% true? And that will help you a lot. Okay. So, like a saying goes, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails, right? So, let's see you are in the ocean. What would you do if it's very windy and it becomes very stormy? What you can do, you can adjust the sail of the board, you can adjust something in the navigation instrument, take a different direction. Same way, our mind works. So, mind is what? Mind will not stop, by the way. That's why I very critically use the word optimization, or optimize your thoughts. Nothing will stop, they will keep coming. So many people come, oh, I'm overthinking, I can't get rid of this thought, this is a negative self thought. What do I do? What do I do? How can I stop it? So the first thing is, let's get to the reality of it. This will not stop, okay? Because it's your mind, it's automatic. The thoughts will come. What you could do, you can optimize them, you can understand why they are coming, you can definitely use some technique to get rid of them in a different way, changing the perspective, something like that. But the thoughts, yes, they would come. So unless you try all these techniques, your thoughts, your mind is working 24/7. Like all your body parts are working, the body organs are working. So you cannot say your mind, oh, stop the thought, I don't like it. You cannot do that. But you can do certain things that either you change yourself thinking about it, it's a very deep programming, or you work with a professional or work with a coach like me, who can understand how your mind is working, and they can help you out to navigate through that negative thought and stop the loop. Okay. So I know a lot of people say, I cannot get out of it's not that easy. You need to work with so many things when you're working, trying to control your mind, right? So I can only suggest that, see, neuroscience have shown that there is no positive gene in our body that way, unless we create one. So there is something which you need to create. The negative thought, the negative pattern will only go away if you have created and displaced it with something more significant. Now, here, word of caution, you're working with your mind. So, mind has its own mind, I would say sometimes to my clients. What does that mean? That means that you think you can control your mind, but it's not that easy. Okay. So, mind has its own mind. So, like you say, one day you switch on, I don't want any negative thought today. or you switch off that, okay, I only need good thoughts today. It does not work like that. You really need to put in a lot of efforts. And like I said, there is a lot of stigma around mental health. People don't go to coaches, or you can come to me, the mindset or mind coaches, because it's very important for you to understand you're working with your mind. And before it gets to a point where it's not recoverable, please work with somebody and seek some help if you're getting too many anxieties and too many negative thoughts. Okay. The last one, I want to talk about five things which would help you to an extent. Again, a lot of people go on YouTube, and I also discuss it, but nothing changes unless you work with somebody on one. This is not something you should be discussing. A lot of people have this issue that publicly what is going on, because everything you discuss is very I would say it's customized for you, right? It is your experience. Nobody else is going through that. So these tools, which you see it online, they work for some time. But then what happens? One of my clients, she just came back after spending too much money on something which did not work. So unless you completely dedicate yourself to working with a professional one on one, getting the right tools which are meant for you, not for everybody, it will not go away. All right. This is all negative thoughts and the patterns I'm talking about. So, number one, you can definitely do easy things like gratitude. So, gratitude is a place, is a form of emotion, I would say. Like, I will talk a scientific language because being a scientist, I would say it's a very foundational, I would say, emotion where you can start with. It would be just basic. It would be just be grateful for what you have. So what it does is, scientifically, it deviates you from thinking negative about that situation, about that person, or about that experience. So you are seeing, when you are thanking or you feel blessed for a situation, at the same time, you cannot have a negative emotion, right? You can only have one emotion. So you can start with doing a little bit of gratitude. Then other one is like a challenge your thoughts. I said, is it 100% true? See if that works for you or not. Because I know it's not going to be easy if you're going through a lot of negative pattern in your lives, mind wise, and remembering that you have to question your negative thought every time. But yes, you can try it out. The other one is recognize the thought distortion. So sometimes our mind tricks us and thinking some things which are not real. One of my clients, she had a little bit of issue where she thought something is true which was not. So that is also a distortion. So you need to work with your mind in certain ways, and that, like I said, you really need a professional help like a coach or a mind coach like me, because your mind is can trick you in so many ways, right? When you're thinking negatively a lot and you're getting anxious about it, so that can also be worked on. Now, positive affirmations, a lot of people say, yes, even I say, but that's very basic understanding and changing your mind. We These are all very basic steps and very general steps, but then you need a little bit more about why your life situation is not changing, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your professional life. You definitely need a trained person or a coach like me. And fifth one is the same thing. You get out of the stigma of mental situation, or not seeking help with somebody, because I tell you, some of my clients, to be honest with you all, it took a while for them to come to me. They said, oh, what would people say? What would, things like that. But please, it's about you. Rather eating a lot of anxiety medicines or other medicines, I would rather seek a professional and see where it goes. And they have seen 100% success rate with them, and currently whom I'm working with, and in the past. So please do so, because it's not a big deal. Because of the kind of stimulation we get it in this day and age, in the outside world, it's not easy sometimes to just be ourselves, because most of the clients I have worked with, they felt very aloof rather going to a professional. So please don't do that. Just speak out. That it's okay. Everybody goes through a low phase in their life and they can come out of it. Once they're out, they don't even remember their low phases. So it's all good. So try it out. So that was the five things I really wanted to share it with you all. If you have any questions about how you can optimize your thoughts, feelings, belief systems, behaviors, you can ask me right now. I hope you enjoyed this session because I talked a lot about different things because people get confused. What are thoughts, what are belief systems, what are feelings, and all that. Though they're very basic, but sometimes they can be confusing when you're dealing with some anxieties or some negative patterns. So, yeah, I mean, somebody is asking me here. Yeah, the difference between a thought and a belief is very simple. Thought is something you get very randomly, suddenly. Like right now, I'm sitting here and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of, oh, that experience 10 years back with that person, something like that. So it's very sudden, right? It sometimes it comes and it sometimes it's very random and sometimes you don't even see that it's coming. Okay, so that is all about your thought. Belief is a pattern where it's going on for a very long time and it has been engraved in you in some way. Okay, it's a programming done where you believe. Let's say if I remember an incident 10 years ago, I would believe that that person was not good to me, like straight belief, no distortions around that area, right? So that is a belief. And that day, oh, somebody mugged me for $500, something like that. So you've already believed that something bad or something not so good experience had happened with you. Usually, where you it is related to your internal emotions, and that's how you remember the beliefs in your life. Like for instance, your parents told you money doesn't grow on trees or something like that. You still remember that money doesn't grow on trees, something like that. So those are your belief systems which you have been holding on to for a very, very long time. But thoughts are very sudden and random. They come and go. They could be on the daily basis, but they could be negative in nature as well. All right. So that was the end of the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. And next week, I'll see you with another topic. And think about it, how you are doing with your thoughts and are you able to control them. Just start with simple five techniques I shared it with you. They're very basic, but they would help you in some way to begin with. And if you need an extra help, please do get in touch with me. I would be more than happy to help you there. All right. And you all have a wonderful day.